Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joey Drex, and I am the host of That's a Good Cup of Coffee. And my wonderful co-host to my right across the table of talks is my wonderful co-host, Rosalie Sheehan. How are you, Rosalie?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So, listen, last episode was about trauma, a journey through, and we recognized that we had to cover this over 2 episodes, and that's what today is going to be about. We're going to tackle some more the helpful side of things towards trauma, how we got through it, what worked for us. But I must say, before we share something fun, I must say, though, I am so proud of our platform because we've had a few people reach out because of our last episode, and they're wanting to share their story now for the first time. And that's what this is all about, right? We're not psychologists. We're not therapists. We're here sharing and caring. And that's it, right? We're letting them know that there is something wonderful and fucking beautiful on the other side of that darkness through your trauma. But I thought before we got into the serious side of things, we were talking the other night about, things we've gone through in our era. I just turned 50. I'm a 72 baby. You're a 76 baby. We kind of grew up in the same era. And we were listing some of the things, like, it's wild. Like, the first cordless phone in the house. Like I got on my bike and I would ride down the street 4 houses down and I'd be out front. Billy, Bobby, can you hear me? Barely. What's up? He's like, listen, I'm out this side. It was fucking ridiculous. But it was the coolest thing in the world to be able to do that. You could actually leave the kitchen with the telephone and then it would be like, ooh, the girls are calling. I can get to go in my bedroom with my telephone now. A little bit of privacy so mom and dad can't hear me, right? But just the fun things like VHS tapes, the rentals. I shared one quick experience about the Christmas that we all came downstairs and my dad had the VCR playing in the basement. He had the Chem FM countdown that he had recorded, I guess, the night before. And he had all of our favorite songs on, like Thriller by Michael Jackson. It's Christmas morning, we're watching Thriller.
Wow.
Right? It was very cool. But the idea, like, if in looking back now, you didn't even realize that, like, we got to stay home as a family and watch a movie. We still went to the theater too, but it gave you that option. Going to the movie store, trying to get that movie before everybody else got it. There's like 2 copies.
Yeah.
It's a new release. There's 2 copies. You think
Wow.
you're getting it? Nope. So you had to learn to get to know the manager so that you could call ahead and say, hey, man, Back to the Future come out today? Awesome. Can you put it aside? I can be there in 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
On your bike.
And he goes, don't be late. So I would try to maneuver my way through the rental stores. But then Jumbo Video came, Blockbuster came, pushed all the little guys out, right? But I mean, it's just wild to see where we've come. Like, we were the first ones to watch VHS tapes, and now it's just taken for granted. Find anything, stream anything, watch on your phone, fucking watch. You can watch a movie on your watch.
Yeah.
A watch. Would anybody
watch.
actually watch a fucking movie on a watch, though?
No.
You can't see nothing.
No.
It's
Especially
ridiculous.
with subtitles, that would be difficult.
Yeah.
And Columbia House, what was it, Columbia House, where you bought cassettes?
Only 1 cent, and you get 10 cassettes. I did the movies, though.
I did cassettes.
I did 10 movies for a penny, and then they sent you a movie every month, and you had to pay the $25, and it was like a movie that was about a horse.
Nice.
And
Are they still going?
I don't know.
Oh, it's because I still haven't paid for those cassettes.
It's still in collections.
Yeah.
Well, listen, and then we thought we could have a fun full podcast talking about all the different things, but it was just a fun conversation to go through our the internet. The first time I bought my computer, it was like $4,500, and it was like the dial-up 14K. It was like bing, 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 ding, 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 and you're like, come on, dial in. And oh my God, Napster. You could download music. Oh my shit.
Oh, I've heard of Napster.
Yeah, man. Fuck, Metallica shut him down or tried to shut him down, you know, because Napster, you could go on and you could download songs. I remember I'd like create a playlist. I'm like, all right, I'm going to burn a CD. Bang.
Burning CDs.
Oh, 8 songs is only going to take 16 hours to download.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I don't have to go to the shop.
Yeah. But it was just a fun conversation to have. And we'll have to, you know, talk about that stuff further. But, you know, listen, our podcast is about literally sharing our real life experiences, what happened with us, in hopes that others could hear that and say, all right, you know what? I'm ready. I can do this. Okay. I want to go through now. And, you know, it takes a lot. It takes a fuck of a lot to get the courage and the strength to go through it. Your story, you know, with the abuse that you endured from your stepdad, nobody should ever have to go through that. You went through it, and we've talked about it. Your life could have went a different way, and there's just this pureness about you that's out of this world, you know, and it's real, and it's gentle, and it's loving, and that's wonderful. You never let it hold you back. Not to say you didn't have your moments, but why don't you share with our audience a little bit about, you know, the day you decided this is not going to stop me from achieving my dreams and goals?
I'm not sure if there was a specific day. We talked about the hill, the running up the hill thing.
We laugh about the dings later when we watch. I ding things so much all the time, and I try to avoid it. I'm
Last
not
call,
an athlete.
please.
I'm only an athlete when I'm standing.
Or Tom Cruising it across the floor.
Fuck yeah. I'll risky business that all night long. Do 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 do.
Just put those old records off the shelf.
Whoa, folks. She just gave you a little teaser sample of what this woman can do with the power of her lyrics. Her voice is amazing. And, you know, we have a studio here, so I'm always encouraging, like, listen, Rosalie, sing. Let's record. Let's create. I want to write a country song. I really do.
About a truck and some beer and some girls.
I love it, though. Since I've gotten my truck, since the truck, I got in the truck, and what station I put on 94.7, you know, country FM, and shout out to them. My daughters love country music, and my parents always loved it, so I have a soft spot for it. But now I'm like all about country. What's that song? Country music, girls and trucks. Yeah, right. It's just fun music. It's amazing. Yeah, you know, they have the best love songs.
They do,
and they have the best
songs about.
They're like rapping, but slower and softer.
Yeah. But I like some of them are so
Rhyming.
Literal. Like I was out fishing, and literally talks about fishing.
Yeah,
it's not metaphorical.
I just love
the
first song.
Happening.
And what was the first song we heard? It was about I need a new truck.
I need a new truck.
Yeah, I need a new truck. Just it's fun. I like country music, and it's going to be on in my truck all the time. That's a good cup of coffee. The podcast. We do enjoy the country music. We like all music, of course. It depends. My playlist can take you climbing Mount Everest to you're drowning in the ocean, man. You know,
we've just fallen off Mount Everest.
But anyways, listen. Why don't we seriously get back to that? So you didn't have a moment.
Oh yes.
Continue, please.
No, I didn't have a specific moment. But like I said, we talked about the running up the hill thing. And but with hindsight, when I look back on stages of my life and what I learned from each trauma, I definitely went through the atypical stage when my father left and died of, oh God, why is this happening to? I've got nobody, you know, blah blah blah, and that wasn't true. But you become so insular. And you retreat and cocoon when you go through a trauma, especially at that sort of young age. I was 9 when he died. But I think for me, I learned a lot from each trauma on how to fight in ways that were productive and not aggressive. So childhood abuse, and it wasn't just sexual. We were beaten. We were all kinds of crap. It was torture. We were tortured, and it was systemic torture. It wasn't just random acts of violence. It was planned and scheduled almost. It was quite bad. But that kind of abuse taught me how to fight for my soul.
Powerful.
And then when I was in a domestically abusive and violent relationship, that taught me how to fight for my life. And then when I was in a relationship where I was betrayed and there were lies and all the rest of it, that was brilliant, because that taught me that I don't have to fight all the time. That taught me there's so much victory in just walking away. I won by walking away from that, and that was wonderful. But back to the abuse and whether or not this is helpful. When you acknowledge and accept and remember as well, a lot of childhood abuse gets pushed back in the brain. So there are certain triggers that happen in life, and you suddenly remember, this doesn't feel right. Christ, did this happen? You know. But when you acknowledge and accept what's happened, obviously you start to ask questions, and the worst question you can ask yourself is why? Why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? That question will never be answered. You could get an answer. The fact is that the question would be, why was I abused by a paedophile?
Right.
The answer
There's no
in the
good
question
answer, yeah.
Because he's a paedophile.
Yeah.
Or she's a paedophile. The questions you need to ask yourself when you feel able, is what can I do about it? What can I do, and how can I fix it? Because no one else will fix it. No one else is going to be able to say, right, you're okay now. You're over it. It's done. It's in the past. That doesn't help. It's up to you to say, what can I do? What did it do to me? So sexual and physical and emotional abuse made me hate myself. It made me feel ashamed. It made me feel confused. It made me feel thoroughly broken and damaged and not able to trust anybody. So how do I fix that?
Yeah.
And the ultimate goal is to be able to trust and be able to love, and to be able, if I'm honest, to let somebody touch you, and to be able to separate the noises made by an abuser. Because some of those things are triggers, you know, they could be triggers for, remembering trauma, but they're not once you get past the fact that it wasn't your fault. Nobody asks for it to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody invites it. So abuse, rape, assault, anything like that, nobody asks for that. Nobody invites it. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, how much you've had to drink, where you're going dancing. That's all bullshit and irrelevant. But the biggest step and the hardest one is to say, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why the person did it, so I'm not going to ask the question. What can I do to fix me now? And it's not easy, and we've both had feedback about, the stuff we've posted, and I've had feedback basically saying, oh yeah, easy for you to say. Well, it's not easy at all, and I'm 46, and I didn't start feeling alive and good until I was in my late 30s. So it took me a long time, but it's about, I was disrespected, I was demeaned, I was degraded. The first thing I'm going to do is not to do that to anybody else.
Well said. Don't become a victim of your environment.
No.
Don't blame your environment for your behavior.
Exactly.
Wow. Powerful.
So you know what you've been through.
Yeah.
So you don't project any of that onto anyone else, because you know how painful it is. You know how damaging it is. So the first thing you do is you say to yourself, I will not disrespect myself. I will not disrespect anyone else. I will not demean or degrade myself. I will not demean and degrade anyone else.
Yeah.
They are not my abuser, and I am not my abuser. So none of that behavior needs to exist in this interaction. And it's like, and then stop being a victim. And I don't say that with harshness. It's literally something you have to do. Stop being a victim. If you continue to be a victim, you're essentially still being abused.
Yeah.
You're allowing your abuser to have that power, even if they're in prison, even if they're dead, even if they're gone, even if they're
Because if you're playing the victim, not playing the victim, if you're using the victim side of the process, you're never going to evolve.
No.
You will never get out of it.
No.
If you continue to point fingers. I know people in my life that have gone through shit, and I say we all have gone through the stages of it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
But the second, what worked for me was that acceptance that regardless of circumstance, I own the ultimate choice.
Yeah.
In my words and actions.
Yeah. You
Me.
control your behavior and
Correct.
your actions. And that's another power move. No one else can control you
Fuck
if
no.
you don't allow them to.
Correct.
Like I said, everything here belongs to you.
Yeah.
I will not allow anyone to treat me like that way. The minute somebody raises their hand, get them gone. The minute somebody verbally abuses you, get them fucking gone.
Mm-hmm.
Get them gone.
Get them gone,
because
folks.
they and none of this, oh, I'm not good enough for this person. They're not good enough for you because they cannot understand how intricate you are. They cannot correlate your creativity and your genius. They're not good enough for you. If they can't handle it, get them gone. But anybody that tries to drag you down physically, emotionally, mentally, bye.
I hope everybody's listening to Rosalie because you're speaking some real truth. And listen, you know, you're not just saying this without experience.
No. I'm not sitting here going, oh, it's just don't be a victim. I've been there. I've been the victim.
Yeah.
And then I thought, not happy with this, so now I have to fight. So I became the warrior, the survivor.
Yeah.
And then when I realized, yes, I survived. I shouldn't have had to survive when I was a child, but that was the circumstance. And then coming out of survival, it's like, you know what? I'm a fucking warrior. I did this. I got to here with very, very little help from anyone else. If anything, I got to here with a lot of hindrance. Yes, I made some wrong turns. Yes, I did stupid stuff. I jumped off a scout hut because I thought I was invincible. I did loads of crap. I did loads of stupid
Who
crap.
hasn't?
But who hasn't?
Yeah.
But
it's part of growing.
Yeah, I never went out of my way to damage people. I never went out of my way to hurt people. You know, and I've never used anything that's happened to me to manipulate people.
Yeah. That's powerful, Rosalie. It's wonderful. And I think a lot of people can learn from that because it's so easy to blame others.
Yeah. There's only one person at fault, and that is the abuser.
Yeah.
And they will never accept responsibility. They will never apologize.
So you take responsibility and get the fuck out.
Yeah. So when you can, if you can, and like you said about the people that have reached out, you don't necessarily have to speak up on a public platform. If it inspires someone to go to the police, if it inspires someone to go to a teacher and speak up, you know, they're working with kids. You said earlier we're not psychologists or anything. I'm a mental health professional. I've worked with children who have been abused.
Yeah.
There are signs leading up to when they will disclose. They'll tell you things that are just so random and so, what happened? You know, what? You know, I fell on my whatever. They'll tell you things that are random and make you think.
Yeah.
They're all indications that this person needs somebody to say something to. So, and that's the responsibility of all of us to be present and available.
Yeah.
And offer that support and safety.
And in this circumstance too, if anybody out there has that thought that somebody they know is in trouble in that way, it's your absolute duty to reach out.
Yeah, and I think, and I would rather be completely and utterly wrong and hated by somebody that I've said something about. Like if I said, oh, I think this child's being abused. Yeah. Absolutely not. They're not. Fine. You know, the parents hate me, the kid hates me. That's fine. At least they're not. At least they're not being abused. I don't. Yeah. I would rather be wrong, and epically failingly so, than be right about it. Yeah. You know. So and. We see in England, I'm not sure, there was a baby P situation. There are so many signs of abuse, so many signs of physical trauma. Yeah. What happened? Right. Oh, the kid died. These things need to be dealt with. We're
a big fan of Law and Order SVU.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, we watch these shows and they're pretty heavy sometimes, but you know, they bring a lot of awareness to a lot of really important topics. So well done to them.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just like a traumatic, dark police series. It's like, you know, you have these different sets of people who can be approached, who are there to help, and and it helps you realize that you can't not.
There's hope.
Yeah, there's hope. There's always hope.
There's help. There's hope.
There's always hope. The sun always rises. The moon always falls, but it always goes round. There's always hope.
Yeah, one of my contacts on Instagram, Complete VIP Services, Stefano. We've been on social media for years, but randomly sent me this really nice Instagram reel yesterday about, you know, just recognizing that you're never going to see the same sunrise, the same sunset. You're not going to see the same people you see that day ever again. The people you meet in the grocery store, that might be the last time you ever see that person in your entire life. Just to kind of appreciate these moments as we walk throughout the day, because, you know, I've always said if you could try to get the mindset that this could be your last moment, well, then you'd have this mindset of living happy. But a lot of people that go through trauma have a very hard time developing that mindset, but we have. Yeah. We have, and we do have that mindset. I've been consistently this way my entire life, even through trauma. I say that factually.
Yeah, because I think you realized earlier on, whereas I didn't, I was in the bubble of it. You realized earlier on, and this is a testament to your character and your fantastic upbringing. You had a different dynamic in your family home, which was wonderful. But
thank you.
You realized that the action that is at fault is the fault of the person doing the action. Yes. Not everyone else. Yes. Not how could you let this happen? You know, just those questions. Yeah, they'll come out in anger when you go through reliving stuff, but they'll never be answered enough for you. That no answer will be good enough.
For the people listening, not watching, I just smacked my head on the mic.
Oh, wow.
Because I looked down and...
It's like the drum and bass version of That's a Good Cup of Coffee.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, listen, you're sharing so much great knowledge, and I hope people are listening. Even if one person actually went to someone who could help them, you can trust the majority of people. Yes.
And if somebody doesn't believe you, find somebody who does. You fuck them. If they don't believe you, you find someone who does. Simple.
You know, for me, how I got through mine was as I grew up, as I became a man, I recognized how I was feeling and perhaps why I was feeling that way. So I had to really learn that forgiveness side of things. I kind of realized it on my own. Yes, I did see a counselor, prescribed by my doctor, one of those ones where you have to wait, they'll call you, and I got in pretty quickly though, and I saw him quite a few times, and I would say it was very helpful because, look, it happened. I can't go back and undo that, right? So what do I do with it? It's gone. So I learned the power over my years of history that the darkness you might be going through today, tomorrow, it's gone. The effects might be there physically, mentally, both. Yeah. Probably both. Yeah. But one day that's going to heal and it's going to be gone. So if you get, for me, I developed the power of gone, let go, let God, you know, because I wasn't going to let me hold me back. I knew, okay, I got to get up and I got to go. Yeah. I got to get up and I got to go to work. Working for me through my darkest of times was my saving grace. The movement, the air. Just don't take me anywhere, man.
But also when you work, you're with people who aren't necessarily there to know about your trauma. They're not there to listen to your trauma. They're there to do a job like you are. So you have that distraction that you might need, you know, and you're there to support each other as a team.
The last thing I needed when my father died and after Christmas of 15, the last thing this guy needed was to be sitting, staring, watching videos, watching movies, gaining weight. I knew deep down I got to get going. And it didn't take me long to get going. And now it's become my life. So through trauma, great change came. It happened. My dad died. I lost everything. I cannot change that.
No.
But I have found forgiveness through that. And I have moved on from that. Now, lessons learned through lessons lived. This is my time for what's happening in my life. The universe isn't lying to me. I've discovered the power of manifestation through healing. That if you really want change and you apply action with that request, that is when the universe delivers.
Yeah.
If you ask for change and you do not equate or equal that with action, just words, doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's impossible. So I've discovered a lot of amazing things through my healing journey, through, you know, evolving over the years. I'm 50 now, and I'd like to say I'm definitely a hell of a lot more wiser today than I was when I was 20, 30, 40, 45.
Yeah.
I'm fucking paying attention every day more than I've ever paid attention to what's happening in my life and everything around me.
Yeah.
The vibrations don't lie. I'm ready to fly. You know?
You're doing good.
Yeah, but I just want people to know that if you're in the shit right now, you can get through it.
Yeah, and that doesn't just apply to like what we've been talking about. God,
it could be anything.
You know, it's like you have
it's not just sexual abuse. It just could be
everything.
You're in a toxic relationship. You're in a job you fucking can't stand. You're getting bullied at work. You're getting bullied at school. Listen, I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of students in my time. Probably well over a million. I don't want to say millions, but a lot of students. Okay. I know what they go through. And guess what? It happens in the workplace at a different level. I know what people go through. So it's just amazing when you think you've got life figured out. Trauma can come at any time.
Yeah.
But you just need to hold steadfast and know that this is not the end. Yeah. This is not your end.
You can only take care of how you act, respond, react, behave. How you act, respond, react. You can't, obviously, trauma can come in different shapes and sizes. Like if there was a plane crash, obviously it's like, or a car crash, injuries, blah, 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 things like that. We're not talking about that. Those things are dealt with by medical professionals, rehab professionals, OTs and everything else. But when it comes to trauma inflicted upon you by another person with malice, with intent of malice, with intent of secrecy, you can only control how you respond, act, behave, and react. And that's where you need to focus all the power you have left, and then you'll get more. Tomorrow, you'll heal a bit more. The day after that, you'll heal a little bit more. And it just keeps going.
Because if you don't, what ends up happening is, example would be a toxic relationship where there's verbal abuse. You are just defecating all over each other's characters.
Yeah.
Character defamation.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, once you do that, there's no coming back. Because here's the cycle. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry too. Next day, bang. It's never going to change until somebody changes it. Why not be the one to say, I demand more?
Yeah.
Right? But that's where I know people that are in bad situations or they've been in bad relationships and they've messaged me and they're like, I hate this. I need to get out. It's easy for me to say, get out, because it's the simplest of truths.
Occam's razor, the simplest explanation, and
but it's literally what needs to happen. And but then the excuses come from all the reasons why they can't leave yet. It's because the abuser has you dependent on him or her.
Yeah.
No matter your situation, it's going to take a lot of bravery. It's going to take getting a little uncomfortable, but the fucking reward on the other side of that discomfort is just next level. It's like when you get your independence for the first time after being in an abusive relationship. That's freedom that you have not experienced yet, and it's wonderful.
It's the first set of keys you have to the rest of your life when you haven't had your own set of keys to your life.
Yeah.
And you get handed a set of keys, and it's yours.
The and fucking key to the city.
Yeah, and you lock the door behind you so no one else comes in. Is there anything else you'd like to knock off the table?
Damn it.
But that's the thing as well. Laughter is healing.
Laughter is very healing. But yeah, I don't know. I just I wanted to wrap up this portion of trauma by saying, if we had to give it a synopsis, it happened to us. It did not stop us from living our lives. It was a part of us, but it does not define us. No. It does not mean we do it to others. It does not mean we're going to know others. That doesn't mean we're going to have anything else to do with that type of abuse in our lives. And we're living proof of that. We're fucking living proof of that fact right there, that through it all, there is peace, there's kindness, there's love, there's hope, there's happiness, and there is a future of potential for anybody going through the mud right now.
Yeah.
But you need to be safe and you need to heal. And then that means you got to get uncomfortable and you got to do it.
Yeah. And that whole, you've spoken about it a lot because it's so valid and powerful. It's forgiving yourself. There are many, many people I've worked with, many, many people that you hear about who do try and excuse their behavior on their abuse. Some people are promiscuous, some people are manipulative, and then if they're called out on it, yes, it's because I was abused and this has affected me in this way. Fair enough. I get it. It will affect you in that way. Stop the behavior, forgive yourself for that behavior, and alter it, because you're a person, you're a human being. You don't have to manipulate people to be in your circle.
Right.
And if you do, they don't belong there, and you don't belong in theirs.
Yeah.
So find who you are, find the inner strength, find that divinity that we all have. Because no one can take that.
Divinity, you're right.
And forgive yourself for behavior.
Well said.
If it is, behavior prompted by trauma, which it may very well be.
Yeah.
And then try and alter it. Just do something different. Be a good person. Be a lovely person. Go out and hug a tree.
Yeah, I'm hugging more trees now. But that's a great thing, for healing, is if you have the ability, get outside, get into nature. Don't turn your music on.
No.
Walk and listen. Put your phone away, unless you want to take a picture, but put your phone away and just listen to the breeze.
Yeah.
Look at the leaves falling. If it's in the fall, if it's in the summer, watch the leaves swaying. The sun's out, feel the warmth on your face. The gentle breeze through your hair. The birds whistling in the trees. The birds up above flying over top. The seagulls trying to poop on you all the time.
Or steal your chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, so, all right. Well, listen, I think let's end this part 2 now, because I think it's out there now. The right people have connected with it.
Yeah, we kind of just wanted to wrap it up, didn't
we? Did. We wanted to just let people know, what worked for us, right? Rosalie, you didn't let it hold you back. I didn't let it hold me back. I faced it. I learned the power of forgiveness of self, right? And that I'm responsible for my decisions as I grew up and went through my share of toxic relationships, Right.
And then you learn that you don't have to settle for what you've been made to believe is
Right.
all you deserve.
Right.
You don't have to settle.
So that I hope everybody heard that. You don't have to settle.
You don't.
Sometimes we're all at that point where we might feel this is the love I deserve.
I heard that once as I walked out of the door after being punched in the face. I heard this line: "No one is ever going to love you the way I do."
Wow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I hope not. See ya.
Incredible. but exactly, right? Exactly. But yeah, we should probably end this on a positive note. Not that any of this has been negative, but you know, we're at 35 minutes now. I want to say thank you, like, to understand that people in 15 different countries have pressed play to listen to us.
Wow.
I had no idea. Like, I'm so tickle pink over that, right?
Yeah.
I'm just really, really pleased that in some way people are finding something in us, right?
Yeah. In different cultures as well.
Yeah.
It's almost like happiness and peace are the same in every culture.
Yeah. And we just, I believe Australia.
Yeah, Australia.
So
G'day.
somebody's listening to us in Australia. So thank you, Australia.
Yeah, probably.
Crocodile Dundee was my favorite childhood movie, man.
That's not a knife. That's
a knife. That's not a knife. That's a knife. I'm telling you, man. I want to be a Viking in a show. Even if you just want to kill me, just to make me dead on the beach. I'll be a dead body. Come on. But I need to be a Viking.
Oh, well, you already are.
Look, I even got the flow pony going now.
The flow po.
You kind of developed that.
Yeah.
I like it. It works, man. It's different. And that's, hey, listen,
because
I'm
even
different.
You are. Even Valhalla has a dress code.
Valhalla.
So, yeah.
Right on. Flow ponies. It started here.
Yeah.
On That's a Good Cup of Coffee.
Yes.
It's great, though, because you know what? It allows me to wear a pony up top, keep a little bit of flow below, keeps it a little bit neater, cleaner.
Yeah.
But still got the hockey flow going. So I'm
that.
happy about that.
Yeah.
If I take the flow pony out, I go from hockey flow to rock star flow. There's 2 different levels.
There's many levels.
Ding. And listen, I promise you too, guys, we are working on music for the intro, outro. Can't decide. I'd really love to use an Eminem song, but apparently you got to get permission. I don't know how it works, man.
Okay, so Mr. Mathers, if you're listening, can we please use one of your songs?
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah, we would love to use one of his songs for definitely our intro, you know. Yeah. Because Not Afraid is a song that means a lot to me when I was going through my shit over the years. That was a great song. So
he speaks from his heart, though, doesn't he? I mean, he's put up with a lot of stuff over the years about his music, but it comes from in there.
Yeah, I'll never forget the first time I heard him. I was driving to hockey. I crossed the border, in Sarnia, and I was heading down to Point Claire Shores or something like that, Michigan. And he came on, you know, My Name Is, and it was like wild, holy wild, but I loved it.
Yeah.
It was edgy, you know, and it was him and Limp Bizkit on my playlist for probably 2 years. That was my hockey music. That was my get-going music, my workout music, probably my alarms. It was wild. That time in my life for music, very special. Very special. So shout out to Eminem and Limp Bizkit. Dad vibes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, but his new song?
Oh, yeah.
His new album? Oh, my God. Still Sucks? That's the name of the album?
Yeah.
Oh, opposite of sucks. I'm no fucking critic. I would never say an album's bad if I don't understand music enough. Like if I was ignorant in that genre. But let me tell you something about Still Sucks and these guys. it's cool, man. They bring back the old school sound with kind of what's trending now. A nice blend. They got some softness in there. It's a great album. If you haven't heard it yet, go press play and then tell me thank you. And I'll say, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm just going to listen to the Lost Boys soundtrack over and over again because
that song is on repeat. What's it called?
Cry Little Sister.
Cry Little Sister.
Yeah. It's just a brilliant song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
From a brilliant film, from a brilliant era.
The 90s, you know. What was that, 94 maybe?
God, I don't know.
Well, no, time out. No. It just had its 30th.
30, yeah. So
1952. 92. You know what? I think I got that on my Columbia on one of my movies. I'm telling you, I got Lost Boys as one of my movies on my, because when you ordered it, you could order what you wanted. Pick any 10 for a penny.
Yeah.
And then the next fucking 12 over the year, one a month, are brutal.
Yeah, like £50 or something.
You don't get nothing. You're not getting anything big name. You're getting everything that everybody said no to.
What was that film about a horse? What is that? And it's not even a famous horse.
Like, didn't even send me Old Yeller, man. You haven't seen Old Yeller, have you?
I'm not going to watch that film.
You don't want to watch that film?
No, I can't even watch The Lion King. And it's a cartoon.
Yeah, you wouldn't like Old Yeller.
No, I know what happens, and that's why I won't watch it.
So brave. He was so brave.
Who was brave?
Yeller.
Why was he brave?
Old Yeller, because he saved the little boy from a bear attack and everything. He was
I didn't know about the bear attack.
Oh, yeah, saved his life many times, and then the poor guy got bit. Well, I just gave it away.
Who got bit? The dog?
Yep.
And that...
and unfortunately, he got rabies.
So he went to a vet and was treated and recovered fully.
Spoiler alert, if you've not seen Old Yeller yet and you don't want to know the outcome. I'm not going to tell you.
I don't want to know.
I'm not going to tell you. But no, anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening today. Rosalie, is there anything else you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
I had it in my head, and then it literally just fell out of my head. So
sounds like me.
The numbers, yeah.
Yep.
The phone numbers are there again, but you can. I mean, if we're being listened to, watched in 15 countries, just Google. If you can get to the internet, you can Google any kind of crisis line, and they're all toll free. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, for pressing play. It's awesome. Like when it goes beyond just your parents or your family and your friends and your siblings, it's wonderful just to see that. You know, I'm glad that we're connecting with people.
Yeah.
Our humor is being appreciated a little bit. You know, we get some nice messages. It's cute. It's nice. I like it. I love it. We're going to keep growing this and we're going to get better.
Yeah.
We're going to get better things, better equipment, better this. But right now, this is like ground fucking zero.
Is awesome,
and I love it. We got the table here sitting on 2 storage bins.
It's brilliant.
Got the mics. The mics were a good investment. Shout out to DJ Dave at Noisy Chair Podcast, The Noisy Chair. Great human being. We're going to be doing something special with him coming up soon. He messaged me yesterday, and he wants to have us in studio. We're going to do a dual cast. Ooh. It'll be great. We'll go live. He'll go live. We're just going to have a live party.
Nice.
Yeah. Probably get you singing.
Oh, okay.
For sure. I think that's it, guys. So we're working on music for the intro, outro. Thank you to everybody in 15 different countries. Fucking amazing. We love you guys so much.
Yeah, we do.
We appreciate you very much. And take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Stay healthy. Stay happy. And stay you. And if you're not you yet, go find you. Because you matter. It's true. You got to be you to be happy.
Wow. Yeah.
I posted that on TikTok today. Be you.
Oh, I'm on TikTok now.
Yes, Rosalie's on TikTok. Rosalie Sheehan, Joey Drex, we're on TikTok. We're going to do some like dual TikToks together about the podcast. It'll be fun. We're going to get to learn the platform a little bit better other than just leaves and rainy drops. It's cute. Of course. It's awesome. Everything's awesome. So, folks, listen, thank you so much for sticking around. I wish you a wonderful day, evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for listening to myself, Joey Drex, and my wonderful co-host Rosalie Sheehan on That's a Good Cup of Coffee, the podcast, proudly sponsored by Drex Property Care Services, proudly servicing Hamilton, Burlington, Mississauga, and Oakville, Halton and Peel regions. Goodbye, folks.